back to IOS YouTube channel. This is another phase of calculus. In our first video, we have explained limits and we have explained the calculus using first principle. Now, in this case now, we are not using first principle again. We are using what we call basic or general rule. This is the formula for the general rule. As you can see that this is here. So either use the general rule or use first principle to differentiate. We must arrive at the same answer. After this video, you can go and check our first principle videos and see when you compare the same question and using different approach to it, using general rule, using first principle, we must arrive at the same answer. So which is going to allow me to explain, assume that the question that we want to differentiate with respect to x, assuming the y equals to x raised to power 2. Now this is what we want to differentiate. Then by applying what we call general rule, that means x raised to power 2, here this 2 is known as our what? Our n equals to 2 here, because that's the power. Then apply the general rule, which says that you have to take the power to the front here. That's the first thing you do in general rule. And by taking the power to the front here, that means I'm going to have what we call 2. Then you subtract what? Subtract 1 from your power. So by doing so, I'll have 2x raised to power 1, which is going to give me what we call 2x. Can you see how simple general rule is? Very simple. So general rule is very simple, it's not stressful. So you can see. So let's look at another question. So assuming you have a question like this, I'm going to explain the question. Assuming you have a question like that, say that y equals to 4x plus 100. Then we want to differentiate using general rule, we're looking for the y dx. Then what you have interesting is that what is the power of x here? The power of x here is linear, which means that we have 4x raised to power 1. Then I can now say plus 100x raised to power 0. If you look at the expression there below, and this is the same thing. Look at this. Look at it. It's the same. It's going to give you the same thing because the power here that is invisible here shows that it is 1. That is it. Then this one, it also shows that the variable behind this constant 100 is x raised to power 0, because anything raised to power 0 will give you what? 1. So that's why we arrived at as that. Then with that, we now have what? 1 times 4. This 1 will come here. That means you have what we call, we have 4 times 1. Since the power have come to the front, then x raised to power 1 minus 1. According to the rule, subtract 1 from the power, which is the n. Then plus 0 will also come here. That means 100 times 0. You have what? X raised to power 0 minus 1. So automatically, 4 times 1 is going to give you 4, x raised to power 0. Because 1 minus 1 will give you this. Then automatically, 100 times 0, everything here is 0. If you look at it. Then 4x raised to power 0, anything raised to power 0 is 1. Therefore, we're having 1 times, 4 times 1, plus 0. Then 4 times 1 will be what? 4 plus 0. Then my final answer will be what? 4. So that is the principle for the general rule. Very simple. Very, very simple. Then let me look at another, simple example here. Let us assume that you have 5x raised to power 3, minus 2x raised to power 2, then plus 100x, then minus 4. So by solving this question alone, when you are differentiating, any constant you want to differentiate will give you 0. Any constant in this world, even if your constant is 1 million, it will give you 0. But another thing is, if you are differentiating with variable x, which the highest power is 1, the answer you will get is the constant. What do I mean? If you are differentiating 4x, you will get 4. Because the highest power of x that you are differentiating, which is the variable, is 1. So if you are differentiating 100x, your final answer will be 100. If you are differentiating 10 million x, your final answer will be what? 10 million. That's what I'm saying. But if you are differentiating a constant without x, your final answer will be what? 0. Now, solve this question and drop the answer in the comment section. Thank you. Subscribe and watch.